Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to Andsoph podcast. This is season 1, episode 6. I'm so excited to be back. This is my podcast for ordinary people with extraordinary impact. And today, I am so excited to introduce our next guest. This is literally a reunion for us. I don't think you realize that.
It is, I cannot remember the last time I, saw you.
Yeah, I think it was literally 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Wow.
I was a different person.
Yeah.
You were a different person.
Much has changed. But I'm so glad to be reunited.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
Me?
How you doing?
How you doing? Literally. Yeah.
Well, my name is Mychala. I am a friend of Sophie's from a past life, and now we're reunited.
Yes.
I am a creative, so I'm an actress and singer and writer and social media, all of the things.
Everything.
All the things. And yeah, I also am really passionate about creating safe spaces on the internet, just like you are, so that we can talk about real things and be real humans together and connect and just spread more love, which is what we need more of. So yeah, it's a little about me.
Love it. Yes, she's amazing, and that's why I wanted to have you on here, because I feel like you're just so inspirational and real, and that's the energy that I wanted to bring on here. And I know it's been a gap since I've last done an episode, so I feel like this will be a really special episode for everyone to come back to.
We're back. Did you miss us?
But yeah, I'm so excited to get into everything we're going to talk about with your acting journey and with mental health in our creative spaces, behind the camera versus in front of the camera and everything. And also just talk about hair love.
Yes.
Which I have been dying to talk about on here. Yes. And what better way with two curly-headed
cuties.
Natural girlies.
Natural.
I love that we both wear hair down today.
I did my hair just for you. I gotta show up and show
I was
off.
like, it looks so good. Oh my gosh. Drop the products.
I will. I got you.
I'm always exchanging routines, so I'm like, nothing works.
Yes. It takes time. It takes time to find what's good for you, You got this.
It really does.
Keep going.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Well, let's get into it. So, before we begin, I wanted to play this game.
Okay.
Where it would be called Guess the Movie. Mm-hmm. Because you're an actress, so I said, let's do it.
Smart.
Yeah. So, basically the game would be, we'd have to try to think of a movie for each other to guess. But we could only use one word to describe it, and it would have to be one syllable.
Oh!
So, kind of inspired by that game. I think it's called something for... I'll edit it in later. Okay. But it's inspired by this game that already exists. Okay. This is a classic.
Okay.
Okay. Swamp.
Shrek.
Yeah.
Immediately yes.
Immediately yes. We love Shrek.
I love that you described Shrek as a classic.
It really is. I said Swamp.
You said classic, and I was like, oh, she's gonna do Casablanca or Titanic or something. I said Shrek. I love it. Right up my alley. Okay, this one might be a little bit tricky. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
It's one syllable?
Yeah.
Okay. Ship.
Ship?
Mm-hmm.
Ship? Okay, it's not Titanic?
Yeah! Yeah, it is Titanic!
Oh my god!
Good job!
Thank you.
That was my first favorite movie. Your favorite movie changes, but when I was a kid, that was my favorite movie growing up.
I love it.
Yes.
And Leonardo DiCaprio.
Chef's
Young
kiss.
Leonardo
Chef's
DiCaprio,
kiss.
please!
Oh my God.
I wonder what movies that we've seen today that are gonna become that. Timeless.
Oh, that's a great thought. I feel like Dune. Have you seen Dune?
I haven't. I'm terrible.
I see Dune. But you know what? I can't talk because I just saw that 2 months ago. I was I just saw the first one and then the second one in theaters. Very good. Very good.
I need to see that. Another movie. Let me think. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Joy.
Inside Out?
Yeah!
I just saw Inside Out too. Did you cry?
I literally might cry right now.
I cried. I sobbed in the theater.
Girl.
Oh my gosh. Jason was looking at me babe, come on. This is a kid's movie.
It was so good.
So good. I need to go watch it again, honestly.
Me too. I feel like there's a lot of things I missed
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was very profound for a
Kids
young
movie.
kids movie. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, as soon as I knew they were gonna make a new character called Anxiety, I was like,
You were like,
yeah,
I'm out.
it's
This
a
is
wrap.
it. This is it. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like Pixar Disney movie?
Ooh, I feel like it's probably between like Inside Out and Soul.
Oh my god,
I really love
Soul.
Soul.
Was so good. I feel like Soul was very underrated.
I know, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, why are we not talking about
about
that
it?
one? Like,
Come on, you know.
literally.
Yeah.
Not you.
I feel that. I have a soft spot for Toy Story 2. Like, just
Toy Story.
like one of those that I would rewatch over and over and over and over again as a kid. So
Yeah.
love that. Always will. But now Inside Out 2 is like up there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we did good.
Yeah.
One word.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna give us the option to do multiple words, but we did it
in one word. I'm surprised you got ship, and then I was like, I want to say iceberg, but I was like, that's not, it's one syllable. Oh my gosh, it's fine.
I would love to talk about your acting journey because I feel like, I don't know, you're like, I just saw you bloom so much since the last time I saw you. I was like, oh my gosh, and I've just been following you on like social media, seeing like what you're doing, and I feel like you've been doing so many exciting things, and I love it. And literally this week, I was like binging your stuff.
Stop.
Literally,
Oh
I watched End of the Road. I watched like a couple clips from Truth Be Told.
Yeah.
And then I watched part of the Spiderwick
Oh
Chronicles.
my
I was like, I watched
You hit all the
everything.
bases. I love
Yes.
it.
And I just love it. It's like so cool to see you in that space. And I would just like love to hear more about like how this passion of acting started for you, and like if there was like a moment where you were like, this is what I want to do, like this is my thing.
Yeah. Honestly, it sounds so cliche, but I've always known. I'm like, I came out of the womb like knowing that I was gonna be, that whatever I was gonna do as a job would be like something creative.
Yeah.
So literally from the age of like 4, I was like begging my parents to like get me into TV and films and commercials and modeling and all of that stuff. And even just like, you know, small like school theaters and like, you know, whatever county theaters, like whatever I could get my hands on, I was like all about. So I've always known. And then there were definitely like, there's been little signs like all throughout my journey of just like, you're on the right path. Like every time I've like thought about giving up or, you know, going with plan B or like trying to do something else, it's been like, nope. You know, God's been pivoting, and there's something that just like keeps me pushing along this journey, which has been a long and windy one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that like sense of peace and like knowing that like my purpose, like I'm walking in alignment with it, and I'm doing what I'm meant to do. So yeah.
Yes. Oh my
It's
gosh.
a blessing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
I love that. And I feel like it's so cool when people just like know what they want to do from like a very young age, and just like have that like kind of affirmment of that, like this is where I'm supposed to do, like this is what I'm supposed to do.
So, I talk with my sister about that a lot, because we're kind of the opposites on that end. She's like always been trying different things, not really sure, you know, she's had more like freedom to explore, where as I have just kind of like always known that like this is it, like this is kind of my one thing. And we talk about how interesting it is that like it's a blessing for me to know what I'm meant to do and to like have that path. But then it's also frustrating because it's like, I know what I'm meant to do. So when I'm not where I think I should be, it's like even more difficult to like get that through my head of like, okay, I know I'm going to do this, and like, I'm not doing it right now. And it's really frustrating, and all these obstacles are coming in the way and stuff like that. Yeah. And then like for people who are still exploring, it's difficult because they have so many avenues and they're not sure which one they want to explore. So it's like, there's blessings and curses in both for sure.
Yeah. I was watching, just different things that you were in this week. And like, just even in Truth Be Told, I know that one's just a very impactful show that sheds light on a lot of things that have been happening to Black women. And I would just love to hear, like, even if you don't talk specifically about that show, just like how it's been for you in general, just like emotionally like preparing.
Yeah, it's a lot, and that show specifically was my first ever like series regular role, my first ever major role on TV. Like I went from, you know, commercials to like kind of getting like one-liners here and there to just like a series regular, which is like a crazy turn and like a lot in general to take on, and then also a role that was like very heavy. The material was very heavy. And I did a lot of research for it, which deals with human trafficking and, you know, missing Black girls and the disparity there. And so it was like definitely very heavy to research and to watch the documentaries and kind of immerse myself in that. Yeah. And then as well as like creating the backstory for my character, like, you know, you have to get very, very detailed. And so there were things that like I was working out that didn't happen to me, but felt like they happened to me because of everything that was like happening in the script and everything. But luckily, like on set now, we have like intimacy coordinators, so they're there not just for like intimate scenes, like spicy scenes, but they're there for like hard emotional scenes too. So like she was amazing. She was this Black woman, and she was like my first intimacy coordinator that I've ever dealt with. And she was like, "I'm here for you." Like she would come in with like peppermint oil to like calm me down, and like a robe, and like making sure like make just like my advocate on set, and that really helped with like in the emotional aspect of everything. Cause it's hard. It's hard to shake it off.
It is hard. And I think that's so important to have that too, like in spaces. Like I know that intimacy coordinators weren't always a thing. You know, so that is so important to have that. And like, I just like really admire how you're able to get into that headspace and connect with a character like that, to be able to bring awareness to it. And I know that so many girls watching that show and just people in general, I'm sure, have just felt so impacted by this story. And
I hope so.
I think that's so special, like, to be a part of that. And like, it's like such a big show too, like with Octavia Spencer, like Gabrielle Union. I was like,
oh my gosh, stop.
What? I was like, she's on it with who?
Wild.
Like, how crazy is that?
Wild. Like, I pinch myself when I think about the people that I've worked with, because it's like so cool. Like the coolest people. Like I'm so incredibly blessed, because like I played Queen Latifah's daughter. Like what?
I know we get to that too, because that movie was a fun time.
Who am I? It was. It's crazy to work with like you know these all stars.
Really. You worked hard, girl. Like you worked hard. Is there like a dream kind of role that you would hope to have?
Oh, I really want to do it all, man. Like I want to do action, I want to do sci-fi, I want to do like nitty gritty, you know, kind of hard but like important topics, kind of more like truth be told as well. But everything that I do, I like I'm very picky about it, and I want it to be something that's not just like a frivolous, like, you know, like it's okay to have fun, it's okay to like have like a escape, you know, and do small roles or whatever here and there, but I just really want to make sure that like every role that I'm taking like serves the purpose that I'm like why I'm doing this. And I'm blessed that like so far every role that I've taken really has been like aligned with my beliefs and everything. So as long as it's still aligned, I'll do. I'm so excited to explore all the genres, all the different like types of movies and shows and stuff for sure. So excited.
So fun. I love it. And like you mentioned, like in End of the Road, like I feel like that was such a fun movie, but also very intense. Like there was
I didn't think, it's so funny because even filming it, I didn't think it was going to be that intense.
It was.
I watched it, I was like,
wait, what's happening?
It's kind of crazy.
And then at the end, I was like, wait, what? I was like, shook. It's a great movie. Please watch it if you can. It's literally on Netflix, please.
Yes.
I was like, oh. But yeah, it was so cool to see you in that too. And like, how was that, like, being like on set and everything, and like being Queen Latifah's daughter? I was like, okay. And Ludacris's niece or
I
something.
know, yes, yeah, that was wild. That was really cool too, because like, again, it kind of all happened in like this weird whirlwind where like I went
Yeah.
from, you know, a struggling actress to say the least, and then just kind of boomed where like I got my first indie movie, and then my first series regular role in a show, and then my first like movie, like Netflix movie. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was really just like I was just on set like pinching myself every day because I was in New Mexico. Netflix has like this huge sound stage where they film a bunch of their shows and movies and stuff.
Cool.
So it was like cool it was my first time being away from home, like working away from home.
Yeah.
In a new city, new state, being able to explore and just like, yeah, just like feeling like a princess every day. It was really cool, you know, like
I love
my little trailer, like, you know, it was like definitely one of those pinch me moments that like I will never get over. So cool.
That is so cool. What a big leap. Like, I'm sure that was like scary, but you did it.
It was scary, and I think like the thing that I wasn't expecting was the imposter syndrome, because like, you know, that's real. That's real. Like when you're on set looking Queen Latifah in the face, being like, "Hey, girl."
Right. Hey.
Like, why are we in the same room right now? I'm sorry. Like, why are you here?
Why are we in the car right now?
Is crazy.
Wow.
So like, just trying to remind myself that like, you know, I'm here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
she's a person. She's just like you.
Aww.
Like, not even like starstruck, but just like, wow, like, just kind of having to like negate all those negative thoughts of like, I don't deserve this. This is crazy. Like, oh, this is not right. Like, no, it's right.
Yeah.
You're here for a reason. You belong here.
I'm so glad you got to experience that, and I definitely feel you with the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Like when something like happens that just feels like so unreal, and it's such a big blessing, but it's like exactly where you're like meant to be, and it's just like it's only gonna go up from here. What do you think has been like a memorable time like on set that was either like a funny little quirky little moment or like a little like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened little moment?
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a great question. I think one of the like most fun sets was the end of the road set, because this feels weird calling her Latifah, but Latifah, Queen, whatever you want to call her, like always had like a speaker on set. She was always playing music, so there was always like, and she's Queen Latifah, so it was like good music. It's like 2000s R&B, hip hop, 90s rap, all of that. And so like there were so many times on set where we would just like stop filming for a second and just have a little like breakdance circle and just
fun.
like, you know, break down. It was the whole cast, the crew, director, who her name is Millicent. She's a Black director, and she's
love
huge. She's amazing. She's amazing at what she does.
Yeah.
And actually I got to work with her on End of the Road, and then she came back to Truth Be Told, so I was able to work with her twice.
So
and it was like,
fun.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that set was really, really fun, and just like the people, like,
Yeah.
it makes or breaks any workplace.
Yeah.
So if you're with good people, like, you're gonna have fun.
good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I know now you just started in the Spiderwick Chronicles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like I literally watched the like original movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was little.
Like when it came out?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep,
it was
me
like
too.
based on like the books and everything, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Did you read the books or just the movie?
I just watched the movie.
Yeah, that's what I did when I was too. I was like, movie.
Yeah. So I was like, that's so cool that they made like another show.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
That was really, like, the fantasy aspect of that was really cool to
That
do.
is cool.
Because I've never, like, that's a whole other genre, too. And it was cool
Yeah.
to be able to, like, explore that. And then be a black family, like, in the fantasy world was really cool, too. 'Cause
I was like, because I was going to say, I was like, I feel like I'm not used to seeing that, which is so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, yeah, but we were, like, a biracial family, and being able to just like bring that little bit of representation. And my character's a fencer, which is like, I feel like most little Black girls don't think, you know, like, fencing is something they could do. But then like, I've had people be like, oh, my daughter like saw you on screen, and now she wants to fence.
Cute.
Like the coolest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fencing.
Yeah.
You were like, I know all the terms. You were saying it, I was like, period.
That was so much fun because I got to train a little bit too, so I got to like learn a little bit of fencing, which was very, very cool. I love anything like athletic too, like sports and stuff. So it was a challenge, but it was fun. Like all the sword play and stunt work and stuff. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved that one. That was a fun show.
Fun. I can't wait to watch more.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode and I need to finish.
Oh, it gets crazy.
It does. I feel like it already is. I'm like, what's
really
going
crazy.
on?
Yeah.
It kind of gives me like Stranger Things-esque vibes.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker. Like we're a little bit more
even
edgy. Not darker than Stranger Things. Okay. Just like darker than the Spider-Man movie. Darker than like most kids. Like you know what I mean? But like I really liked that. We also really dive into like mental health and dealing with that as like teenagers and growing people and humans. So like I love that we were able to like meld the two and be like fantasy and fun, and then also like real life stuff too. Yeah.
That's literally perfect.
Yeah, it was a perfect mesh. It was awesome.
I love it. Look at you. I feel like you're making impact in like all the spaces.
I'm
like
trying.
Kids, like people our age, like older people.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is so great and so special. Especially at your age, like you're so young too.
I feel old, girl.
No.
These bones, I'm like cracking. These bones.
This life. But y'all definitely need to watch. If you're not, then
you're missing out.
Yeah, what are you doing? Because I was sitting here engaged.
Thank you.
I was engaged. I was like
locked in.
I was locked in. I was like, what is about to happen? What are they doing? Watch and see. And speaking of, you talked about how you talk about mental health, like in the Spiderwick Chronicles, which is really cool. Like I guess for right now, like how you've been able to like protect, I guess, your mental health when it comes to things like dealing with even like rejection too. Because I know that that's something a lot of people deal with. Just like I feel like creative people in general, like just auditioning for things or like trying to get jobs, even for people like me, like trying to get like crew jobs and stuff like that. Like it's hard out here. It's hard. And it's like a passion of yours too, and you're trying to like make a living, but then it's like, you know,
it's not paying. So something's gotta
do. But like how have you been able to like protect that and like advocate for yourself?
That's huge. I feel like it's been a learning experience for sure, because I think honestly I'm still learning how to balance it and protect it, and you know, balance like work life and home life and personal life, because when you're creative, it all just melds together. Like you're always creating, so you're always thinking about work, so you're always, you know what I mean? So so just trying to like also find purpose outside of what I do. Like even though I know that I'm meant to be an actress and I'm in the right line and, you know, we're chugging along and I'm in alignment, I know that like my purpose comes from more than just what I do. So even if I'm not on set for something, I still have purpose. Right. And I think it's been a tough thing to like really wrap my mind around, because you know, it's easy to put so much of your worth into what you do. And if you're not succeeding in that currently, you just feel, you know, you're so hard. It's easy to just be so hard on yourself. So, just like trying to take some time out, therapy for sure. Call your therapist. Get a therapist. Do it. If you can. Therapy for sure. You know, journaling, meditation, taking care of my body, finding other hobbies, like things outside of acting. And like taking the space when I need it. So like I took like a social media break. Like I'm on one right now, and like little things like that I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm taking care of like myself as a whole. And like all of it, mind, body, and spirit, all of it.
I love that.
It's tough to do.
It really is tough. And like I feel like it is a journey, like you said. Like I feel like it's just an ongoing thing. But I really love what you said about how you're so much more than like what you do. And I think like in our culture it's very much like hustle and it's like the more things you're doing, the more it's kind of like like all these people are like, oh my gosh, you're doing this and this, and so
it's praise to be super busy.
It is, and it feels like super like validating and stuff. But then when times come when it's like, you know, you either get like rejected from something or you just something didn't work out for you, like it's hard to just be like, dang, like I don't know where like my worth is coming from because I don't have this. And so I think that's so important that you mentioned that, and just how like you held purpose like before like you got into everything, and you hold purpose now like without that, like you're your own special person. Yeah, and you're still making an impact like even outside of being an actress, like just as a human being, just the way you are, and like how you treat people and what you advocate for, and
exactly.
So,
I feel that completely. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning. I'm definitely in like, I'm in a little bit of a rut currently with it, because it's just been like a weird couple of years in the industry. So still trying to remind myself every day, like, you know, you're still a human with worth, and you know, you're doing okay, you're gonna be okay, like even if you don't book anything today or tomorrow, like it's gonna be okay. And knowing that like my purpose is like tied to service more than just like, you know, doing what I want, like it's something that can help serve other people. So like I can do that anywhere, like you said, like I'm always interacting with the world, and like I can always add something good to it, even if it's not on a set, which sounds silly, but it's like so intertwined.
I saw on your social media you did, I'm not sure if you're still doing it, but I know you did it before. It was like a series called like Coffee and Clarity.
Yes.
So cute. I am like, what? Oh my gosh. And I love it. It's like your own little mini podcast.
Yeah, that's like literally exactly what I wanted it to be. Yeah, I do. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Literally, I was like, I love this. Yeah, and that's so cool. You're like advocating for mental health too, and like the social media spaces and things like that.
Yeah.
Like what would you say, like out of all the things you've talked about, has been like regarding mental health on there, like has been the most like important like topic for you to talk about?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think honestly, the most important one is one that I haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have like, there's endless things we can talk about, but I think the one that I really like, that I like do have out, is rejection, like dealing with rejection and trying to get over it, because it's something, like you said, it's something that everyone faces. Like everyone can relate to it in one way or another, whether it's personally or professionally, whatever. And it's something that we don't really talk about, like how to deal with and how to, you know, find your way through it, because sometimes it can hit people harder than others. And you know, you might like build a thick skin, but there's still gonna be those rejections every once in a while that like sting a little bit more. And in the video I kind of related it to like my job as an actress. Like of course, like I deal with so much rejection, you know, and it's just like constantly putting myself into a character and a role and an audition, and then putting it out there, and then either hearing nothing or getting rejected. So since I've been doing it so long, I definitely like have built a thick skin, but it's still is something that you have to work with. And I think that does go back along with knowing that your worth doesn't come from that opportunity or that person, and being able to like just see all the other things that make you worthy, like all the other things that were accepted and not rejected. And so I think that's one of my favorite talks on there. And it's cool to have like conversation too under like in the comments, and talk to people about it and see how they relate.
And I love that you're so passionate about that, and I can see that.
Thanks.
'Cause like you've been through it like personally and have had to overcome it. But yeah, rejection is like, it's such a complex topic, but I feel like you're always being redirected to where you're just meant to be. And sometimes I feel like it just has to do with, sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Like it really might just have to do with like the people there. They might be like, oh, like, or like it really just might not be meant for you. Like, I feel like that's what it really is at the end of the day. But
if it were meant for you, if when it's meant for you, it's yours. Like nothing can change that or take it away. So like 100%. I think also like when it comes to social media and stuff, like again, that's why I love this podcast and like what you're doing and everything, is because like it's hard to balance. And that's why I asked you earlier, I was like, how do you balance working in social media and like having social media and also like maintaining your like mental health and stuff? So I feel like like with Coffee and Clarity, that's really just kind of what I wanted to do, was like have a space where social media doesn't feel draining and it feels like just another passion project of mine, you know? That's what I wanted.
A creative outlet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm all for that. Like, I'm all for people having creative outlets, like, outside of their work. It's so needed.
It is.
Oh my gosh,
it's really, really needed.
Yeah, to do something just because you want to do it and you love it.
Exactly.
And you have full creative control.
Exactly.
It's nice.
And it doesn't even have to be, like, full big projects, because, like, you know, I talk to people who aren't necessarily, like, creative in, like, the traditional sense of, like, acting or writing or whatever, and I'm like, there's so many ways to create, like cooking, like, trying new recipes can be creative, like, experimenting with baking, like, crochet, like, literally anything. There's so many ways to have that creative outlet, and it doesn't have to be, like, this big daunting thing. It can be a fun little hobby.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I love it too.
Yeah.
That's so great. Do you think you're gonna, like, bring it back?
Yes, I will. So yeah, I'm currently taking a break.
Yeah.
Just like hit like a low point mentally, and I was like, I'm spending a lot of time on social media and none of it is productive. So I'm strategizing. I'm in like my strategizing phase, because when I come back, I want to like come back and be fresh and like have a good plan going in, so that I don't feel like I need a break from it. Does that make sense? I want to be able to maintain it and have it be like a healthy balance for sure.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Important.
So give me your tips on that, because
I feel like even the break for me, like between recording podcasts, was so needed. Yeah. Because I was like, with your own creative projects, like no one's like on your back, like, oh, you need to do this, this, and this. Like no one's like, you need to like release another one right. Like it's kind of like up to you. And so I feel like it wasn't like planned to have this break specifically for me, but because it kind of happened that way with like scheduling and stuff, I feel like it was so needed also for me to get into a better headspace. I was also like mentally not in a great place, so it's like the timing of it was like
you needed it. Your body and mind were like, we need this. This is like, good. We're here.
Literally, yeah. So I feel like sometimes our lives just like force us to slow down, and we have no choice but to be like actually deal with the things that are like on our hearts and on our minds and everything.
Exactly. That's true. I feel like that's the lesson I learned again and again and again, because I'm like the type who I thrive in like the fast paced and like a little bit balanced, but like I need to feel productive. So like if I'm not doing something or feeling productive or planning something new, I'm like, oh God, like what's happening? I'm like feeling anxious and stuff, but I feel like God really uses, like, he forces me to slow down. He forces like the industry to shut down, or like, you know, something to happen to where it's just me and my thoughts and like how I'm feeling. I'm forced to check in with myself, and it's necessary, because like you said, if you don't take the rest, your body will take it for you.
It will. It'll be like, we're done.
Yeah. We're cut off. Please stop.
No more.
Exactly.
Literally. One thing I also wanted to talk about with you was just like how like your faith has also influenced like being able to take care of your mental health. Yeah, that's been huge. I feel like I went through the similar trope that a lot of like pastors' kids go through, because my dad was a minister, and I was like he was like a youth pastor and everything. So I grew up in church, and I grew up like with that faith really instilled in me, but it was always authentic. Like I always truly had like that faith and that belief and that love for God. Yeah. And then, you know, as you grow up and you like are trying to figure it out for yourself, you might like steer away a little bit and then come back, and then steer away and then come back. But every time there's been, you know, hardships, whether it's in like personal life or career life, like my faith has always been there. And you know, that was actually my first tattoo, is my faith will stand, because like through it all, like at the end of the day, if all I have is God and myself, like I know I'm good, I know I'm okay. It might not feel like it, but like I'm gonna survive, and he's gonna get me through this. So like, and it's definitely hard in this industry to be a person of faith and to have a relationship with God, because there's so many things that like are thrown at you, and you know, so many temptations and stuff like that, and it's easy to get like caught up in the lifestyle and all of that. But
I think it's just really important to like keep my faith strong so that when I go into these spaces and into this industry, like I am the light and I am something that's changing the room. I'm not being changed by the room. So like that's something that's tough to do, but like really before every audition, before I go onto a set, like that's really what I'm reminding myself of, is like I'm here to give light and show God's love to people, not be transformed by them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
It's huge.
I love that. That quote though, I'm like, wait.
Wait,
Let's run that back. Changing the room and not being changed by the room. Yeah. It sounded cooler when you said it. But
no, you said it. That was good. I don't know what I said. That was great.
That's so important, and I love that you're doing that. Just people seeing the way you live and the way you love them, I feel like just makes you stand out within like a certain room where, you know, there's a lot going on and different things. But yeah, that's really cool that you're like, that's something that you value and you've continued to hold close to you. And I feel like God will like continue to bless that, like in the spaces you're in. And so I'm excited to see how you do that.
It's definitely easier said than done. Like I'm not saying I'm perfect at it by any means, but thank you. I appreciate that, because it's, you know, it's tough, but like, and it's also, again, not just this industry, but every single, like everyone can relate to it. Like going to a workspace or going to a new friend group or whatever, and just really trying to like keep yourself like at the forefront, like when it comes to how you're presenting yourself and how you're maintaining yourself. So I feel like something that we don't talk about as much when it comes to mental health as an actress or just creative in general is like how, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but truly how much of a mental toll it can really take on you. And the way that, like, I remember the first big movie it was Into the Road that I did. And like I said, it took me away from home. So I was away from home for like 2.5 months. I only saw my family like a week within that 2.5 months, which was crazy. And it's so easy to just get like sucked into like the culture and like forget. It's the weirdest thing. You almost like forget that you had a life before this set and like these people. And it's great because they feel like family and like you're seeing them every day. So it's like, this is my brother, this is my sister, this is da-da-da. But then it's like, we don't talk about that crazy jarring moment when you like, you cut, you wrap, and then you have to go back home to like your quote real life. And it's like, the first time that it happened, I like fell into a depression because I was just like, oh my God, like who am I? Where am I? Really just like losing your sense of self almost, which is like the weirdest sensation. So again, that's why like I just emphasize how important it is to like have your sense of self and your sense of worth like so strong before you go into a room or into a new job or a new situation. Because otherwise it's really easy to just like get sucked in and lose yourself, and that's not fun. It's not a fun place to be.
I cannot imagine like what that's like either. Like that transition and like just like knowing you're doing what you love, but then having to like give some other things up too. And I feel like that's amazing that you were able to like continue to grow in that and like learn like your own personal ways kind of like to cope with that, because I know you'll be doing, I'm sure, like a lot more things and everything. And you know, that's like a thing that comes with that, like just being able to protect your mental health, like we were talking about before. So I feel like that definitely should be spoken about more, just among actors and like creatives who are pursuing their dreams but having to give up a lot time.
It's huge.
Speaking of taking care of ourselves, I feel like self-acceptance is also a really big part of mental health as well. And like I said before, like a subject that I've been wanting to talk about for a while has been hair love, because like I feel like that plays a role also into like what you do, but also just into like our everyday lives and just like how we feel. And I feel like we can both like share a little bit on this, like just about our experiences. But I would love to hear like kind of how your relationship with like your natural hair has like evolved over time and healed, like so many everything.
Oh my gosh, what a journey it's been. And like it's something that's so intimate of like Black women, especially in their hair. Like that relationship is like more important than I ever realized. But yeah, I mean the typical like growing up, I hated my hair, hated the curls, hated if it would be big. I wanted it flat as possible, straight. I straightened my hair every day from the time I was like 8 until I was like 16, like until I moved out here, kind of. And of course, you know, dealt with the repercussions of that after. But it really, as I'm sure you know, just came from like a place of deep-rooted insecurity and like feeling all of these, you know, negative impacts of like media telling me like what's pretty and what's not pretty. And this was never pretty, especially back in the day. And the representation wasn't there. She always had a silk press or a wig. Like it was never her hair out or fro or whatever. So definitely like grew up not liking my hair. And then honestly the catalyst for that change was moving out here, because I just saw so much more diversity. You know, I saw Black women with their hair out. I saw curly hair and all of that. And I will never forget, I was walking on Santa Monica Pier. It was like the first time I'd worn my hair curly in like 10 years or something. And this woman came up and she was like, I love your hair. She was like, you're so beautiful. And I like, my eyes welled up and I was like, thank you. Like, I will never forget that woman. And like, I don't know who she is, but like, it makes a difference. So so give someone a compliment today. But yeah, that was the catalyst, and that made me like really be like, oh my god, like I am beautiful, my hair is beautiful, like let me embrace this. And then it's been like ups and downs since then as you're learning your hair. It's like really tricky to learn to do for yourself and find what works for you. But now I'm at a place like where I was watching it yesterday and I was like, wow, it's like I'm actually enjoying this. Like I'm really in awe of my hair, and like it sounds so weird, but it's a whole journey, and it's like so intimate and personal, and you got to go through it yourself. But once you do, it's like it's amazing. It's a great feeling to be in love with your whole self. How has your journey been with it?
I feel like it's been like similar. Like I feel like when I was younger, I also just like didn't like my hair. My mom would put like this thing in it, so my curls would be like looser, so they would be like flat, because like that's what I wanted. I was like, it cannot be giving this. Like, it needs to be flat. And like straightening my hair. And I just like, I went to like a predominantly white elementary school, so a lot of those girls, they had like their hair in like cute styles, and they could do whatever they wanted, and I was just like,
their little ponytails were swinging.
I was like, it takes a little bit more for me to do that. And it was tough. Like I would talk to my mom all the time, like, I don't like my hair, and she was like trying, she was like, but you're beautiful the way you are, and I was like, no, I'm not. And I think I struggled with that for a long time. And also what you talk about with like learning how to do your hair too. Like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like this is just too much. And then I think for the longest time I started wearing my hair up too, and then I forgot when it was that I just started wearing it down. But I think I did have a moment too, like one time, I think I was wearing my hair down already at the time, but just one day I just like decided to put it up, because I feel like that's like convenient or whatever. You know, your hair is gonna stay intact for the most part. But like I remember like this girl was just like in my class, like on the last day of school, she was just like, oh, can I see like what your hair looks like down? I was just like, sure. I was so scared, because I was like, when I take it out, it's gonna be like,
wait, you took it, it was up and then you took it down?
In a bun.
Oh girl, when it's in a bun, it's over. It is over. If I put my hair up, she is not coming back down. I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Because I was like, what?
I'd be like, you can see it tomorrow?
I was like, but it was the last day of school, so
I
was like, who knew when I was gonna see her again? But I was like, and I just remember, I was just like, and I took it down, and I think I like had to like,
you gotta like,
pull that in it, and I was just like, this is so ugly, oh my gosh. And then she was just like, oh my gosh, your hair is beautiful. And then she was like, have a good summer. And I was like, what? And I was like, wow. And it's like crazy that we like remember these compliments from like years ago. Like for me, that was like 6th grade or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I remember. So it's
that's
like
really sweet of her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I agree. Like the words people say are so like impactful.
Yeah.
Because it's like we sometimes just need to hear that.
Yeah.
From someone because it's hard. But I have also learned to like love my hair more and like wear it down like I am today.
Yes,
like,
I'm looking so good.
Thank you. And I love like experimenting with things like braids too.
Yeah.
Like just doing it all and just like if I want to straighten my hair, it's because it's like I want to do it. It's beautiful to see that like we're healing our inner child.
Yes.
Like now, and that we can actually say like, oh, I love my hair.
Yeah.
And like
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I hope that like one day black and brown and curly haired girls don't even have to go through like all of that, you know. I hope that like they're just instilled with that, and I see that more often like
for sure.
And like, you know, parents nowadays, they're like really instilling like your hair is beautiful, like you're perfect the way you are, like, you know, really just like teaching them how to do it and how to love it and stuff. Yeah. So I'm like really, really excited for like the next generation that's like, my hair is beautiful and I know it, and like yes. I'm like, yes, it is, girl, yes.
Yes. Because I know, like you said, it's like an up and down journey for you, which definitely is for me too. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like,
I'm like, shave it off.
I'm gonna cut it all off. Like, so like, I don't know, like what like helps you in those moments where you're just like having a harder time, or it's just like the hair is not working out, like yeah.
I think knowing that it's okay to have a bad hair day, like knowing that, like, you know, when you, I'm sure you've had this moment when you're like trying to slick your hair back or do your hair or something and it's not doing it, and then like your arms are hurting, there's product all over your hands, all over the bathroom, you're like starting to cry because it's like so frustrating. And just learning to like take a step back, take a breath, do what you can right now, know it's gonna be fine. Yeah. And then like as soon as I can, I try to like take the next like wash day or whatever and like romanticize it. So like really like, you know, I'll like light a candle or use like a little like shower fizz and use like my favorite like deep conditioning mask, like stuff to really like romanticize it and just make it like feel so special, so that I feel like I'm loving my hair and not just like, oh, it's something that I have to do. It's like I get to take care of this. Like I get to like brush it and like I get to see how every little tiny curl like coils back up and stuff like that. Like really just taking the time to learn it and love it, but also just take the step back if I need to. Yes. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I know I'm going on this trip and like I'm not gonna want to do my hair every day. Let me braid it, twist it, something. Yeah. So that's good too. Yeah. And then I feel like also just representation has been like really helpful. Like little things to like, my Pinterest board is full of like girls with curly hair and type 4 hair and stuff. And then movies and shows nowadays have so many more women who are wearing their curly hair out, which is like really, really helpful as well. Yeah. Really helpful to see. Yeah. Yeah. Because we didn't really get a lot of that representation, you know, the curly headed representation growing up was not, or if it was like negative. It's like, ugh, you know, like,
your hair's out.
Yeah.
You didn't even do it.
Yeah, exactly. Or like stuff gets stuck in there, like little afros and stuff. And I was like, okay, come on.
I'm like, be so for real. Yeah, like, we're trying out.
I mean, it happens, but like,
like it does.
But you don't need to like put our business out there.
Right. And that's so cool that you get to like be like a part of that. Like in real time. Yes. Like be the person where like people are looking on TV and they're like, oh my god, she has like hair like me. Yeah. And she's just wearing it out and it's giving like.
I love it. Yeah. That's something that was that I really loved about the Spiderwick Chronicles when I did it, because my character has this whole hair journey. Yes. I'm gonna spoil it. So spoiler alert. Sorry. She like, you know, has like long curly hair and then something happens and then I have to cut it. Like I didn't, but like my character cuts her hair, and so it's like this short, like really kind of like auntie, like mom bob situation. But it was like really, really special to portray because I have this big like speech where I'm like, you don't understand the work that goes into this. Like, you know, the oiling my scalp and braiding it up and trying to grow it out and kids making fun of me. And I was like, this is so real. Yeah. And some little black girl is going to like listen and feel very heard. So I was like really happy to be a part of that portrayal. It was exciting.
I feel like there's so many different curl types, so many different hair types, so many different ways you can wear your hair. And like even your hair doesn't even like define you, like it's part of you, but it doesn't fully define you. Like, you're so much more than your hair or your bad hair days or whatever. So
amen.
Yes,
snap.
We love it. We love curly hair. Look at us.
True. Yes, curls.
Look at us. I don't even know what my curl type is.
I don't know. I feel like I like stopped trying to. I mean, I know I like type 4. I think like it's really tight curls.
Yeah.
Yours are beautiful. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Girls, I love you.
Thank you.
Oh, so cute.
Literally don't even know how to do my edges either.
Oh, it's so...
As you can see, like I literally don't even know how to do that. So like
it's rough.
Fine.
It's rough.
Yeah.
YouTube big sisters out there who are like helping us little ones through. Yeah. It's tough. It's complicated.
Literally.
And also it's like in my industry at least, like I have to know my hair because like I'm going into like spaces where someone else is going to be doing my hair. So I have to be like, no girl, like this ain't how you comb my hair, like whatever. Let me show you. Yeah. So like I really had to like learn my hair so that I could advocate for myself on sets where sometimes people don't know how to do.
Yeah.
So.
Literally. Yeah. That's so important too.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they've had more like, I guess, hairstylists that have come on set that have been like able to work with versatile hair, or have you run into kind of like...
I've had more bad experiences than good.
Yeah.
I think we're getting there, but we still have a long way to go. Definitely more training for everyone. 'Cause like the first time I felt like comfortable on set, and again, I've been acting since I was 8. So I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. So the first time I felt like comfortable with my hairstylist on set was, truth be told, when I was 22, 21, something like that. And it was like an all black hair trailer. So they were, I walked in, I was like, oh, you're gonna know what you're doing. Thank you so much. And they made me look so good. They made me feel so good. And there's so much to say about like the confidence that instills in you. Like when you feel good, I don't need to worry about if my hair is like looking crazy in the shot because like she got me. Like I know I'm looking right, and then I can just focus on my work and the the stuff that like really matters about it. Yeah. So that was like life-changing, honestly. And then I've also had some like not so great experiences where I've been like near tears, just like wow, they don't know what they're doing, they're like either hurting me or like like this is not good. So still a long way to go, but like we're making progress in the right direction for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I hope in the future that there's a lot more like situations like that, like you had on Truth Be Told. Me too. It makes the biggest difference.
It really does. It really
someone
does.
doesn't look at your hair and they're just like,
and you can tell. Like,
when they're like, oh.
Immediately when I sit down and then they look and they're like the fear in their eyes. They're like, okay.
All right. Like,
and what's funny? The tell that I can always tell that they don't know what they're doing is when I sit down, because I'll come with my hair like this, like at least with product in it, like detangled, freshly washed, like looking good. And then I know that they don't know what they're doing when they sit down and they're like, well, you're just perfect. There's nothing that we need to do. Like, you're good. Goodbye. And I'm like, you just didn't know what to do.
No.
Like there's something you could have done, but it's
anything. A little fluff, please.
So that's how I know. I'm like, okay, it's okay. And I'd rather
not touch it
not
at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like at this point, don't touch it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all. Well, this brings us to the end of our episode together.
Oh
I know,
gosh.
it flew by.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. This was so fun.
It really was.
I know.
I love catching up with you.
Jinx.
Jinx. What do you think for? You owe me a Coke. I don't know all the things.
Oh my gosh.
I love catching up with you.
Thank you. I love catching up with you too.
Thank you.
And just hearing about everything you've been doing, how you've been feeling.
Yes.
How you've been navigating things in this crazy world.
It's been crazy. But thank you for again, making this. This is so important and so special.
Mm-hmm.
And I really commend you because it's work, but if you're passionate about it and it's making a change. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being on here. Is there anywhere where people can find you, like Instagram?
Yes. Once I'm back on Instagram, I promise your
Take
girl
a
will be
break.
active.
Yeah, let her have her break and then,
I'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be back.
It's my first and last name at Mychala Lee.
Yes.
Can we put it here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's here or somewhere else. TikTok, I'm on it. You can follow me if you want to.
Yes.
But there will be more fun stuff coming. I'm gonna be in. Do you know the show All American Homecoming?
Yes.
I'm gonna be in All American Homecoming.
Fun!
I think this is the first. This is the first we're speaking of it.
Oh,
exclusive. So, the 411.
Yeah, exclusive. Oh,
so
fun.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I will be.
Airs in
goodness.
July, sometime in July.
Okay, soon.
So, very
kind
soon.
of around when this is coming out. Wait, when does? Do you know when?
So I'm in episodes throughout.
Okay.
So the first episode I'm in airs July, I want to say 15th or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it might be out already by the time this comes out.
So go watch it.
Go watch it.
So exciting.
That is exciting. And where can we find the things that we talked about in here, like End of the Road?
Yes,
Spider-Man Chronicles.
Yes.
Should be told.
So End of the Road is on Netflix. Let's type it in there. End of the Road, like the Boyz II Men song.
Yes.
That one's a really fun, action-y, kind of family, kind of not family.
Yeah.
Thriller. And then Truth Be Told is on Apple TV. Mm-hmm. Go watch that, please. All seasons. I'm in 2 and 3, but season 1. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And then the Spiderwick Chronicles is on Roku TV. So if you have any little Roku, or you can just go online to Roku channel, and it's there for you to watch.
Yay! Y'all can binge.
Yes,
binge
it's
everything.
all out. Do a little marathon.
Do a little something. Yes.
I love it.
Stop! Oh my gosh. Why are we the same? We literally look like siblings too.
Stop! We twin.
Where have you been?
Okay,
sorry guys, had it.
Okay.
A little rough, but
voice? Singing voice?
The voice. Oh. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. But yeah, you can go watch her on all of those things. And if you want to follow our podcast, you can go to Instagram and follow @Ansoph to hear about when these podcasts will be coming out, when to expect future guests, and little behind the scenes things and things like that. And you can follow Ansoph on TikTok @Ansoph. And that's where we're also going to post little behind the scenes and things like that. And then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube if you're watching the video version, so you know when videos are coming out. And make sure you also listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you want to listen to the audio version. And you can go ahead and rate Ansoph on there if you want to listen on the go, at the gym, for a walk,
That's the perfect time to put on this podcast.
Exactly. Yes. And I think that's pretty much everything. Was there any last words? Any
words of wisdom? No, just thank you for having me. This is really fun, and thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.
/ listening.
Yes, this was Andsoph. I was Sophie. This is Mychala, and we'll see you for the next podcast episode. Bye. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yes.
Yes.
Period.